Hello, welcome to the show. My name is Karen. Vote for me. Karen Weinstein. In November, presidency. The candidates are questionable, but I'm not. So vote for me. There's a war going on in the Middle East, we call it. And it's Israel that is having difficult times with other countries that surround them where they live. Muslims, the church, Jewish synagogues, and Muslims. There's been a fight. It's been going on about a week now. Why is this happening? Why does the Catholic Church against these people? At this time, there's a piece in the Bible that I'd like to share with you. But first, I want to introduce you to my partner, Dave Weinstein. Dave, come welcome. Come into helping me discuss Judaism and Catholics and all others. David's last name is a Jewish name, but it doesn't follow the Jewish belief. He was young, and he didn't go to the synagogue for many years. Even to this day, he does not go to a synagogue, and he just chooses that to be his way of being. So I'm going to read a script from the Bible, and it might really make you see what is truly happening against Israel. With the government, Israel, they have their faith. But all around them, Muslims have their faith. These wars, mostly between Hamas and the Jewish faith, have been going on for years. And my thought in recent times is, who is the one? Who is the one? What country is going to work out fine? So that people are very serious about their faith. And we don't put our faith on to others. In our country, we allow people to decide their faith. And each religious faith is kept to themselves here in the United States. We have many Jewish people in our country, but they live in our country peacefully. And they serve the God in their own way. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, Dave and I, about this verse, and how it correlates with the wars we're having. Yes, the wars. They've been fighting for thousands of years. And now it's time to really discuss this sensitive topic. Us Americans are not sure who we should support. Should we stay support because Netanyahu is bombing they're getting bombed by everybody else, being attacked? Do we truly understand the different faiths in that area? How there's so much tension, and then they have ended the tension, and find a way for these people to come forward and work together and respect one another's faith. We do not put our faith onto others. This is David. Today, if you want to just talk about yourself and the history of yourself as a Jewish person and American, living in America.
Well, I was born Jewish. I still consider myself Jewish. I don't follow the religion that carefully, but I was, went through the procedures of bar mitzvah and all that stuff. As I said, I don't follow any religion that closely, but I have a very, very strong belief in God. I believe there is God, and regardless of which religion you are, if you do well and treat people correctly, you will be rewarded for that. And what matters most is how you treat others and yourself.
Thank you, David.
Yep.
I'm going to read the verse, it's a paragraph, and then Dave and I are going to discuss what is in the Bible. To the church in Smyrna. This is in Revelation. And the other night, I read this to myself. And I would like to share this piece from the Bible, and then Dave and I are going to discuss this. And to the angel of the church in Smyrna, the words of the first and the last who died and came to life. I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are rich, and the slander of those who say that they are Jews and are not, but are synagogue of Satan. Repeat that. The slander of those who say that they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and for 10 days you will have tribulation. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church. The one who conquers will not be hurt by the second death. So that's the story. And we like to share our ideas with this. And to the angel of the church in Smyrna, the words of the first and the last who died and came to life. I know your tribulation and your poverty. So, our country, our leaders, aren't sure who to support in this war. It's Israel against the Middle East, or at least appears to be that way. But I want to point out, and then we'll talk to David. I want to point out that they have been fighting for thousands of years, and the stronghold on their faith. They have a stronghold on their faith. And nothing of them, they have a group of people who are not Jewish, who represent Jewish, and the people don't know. We don't know who to support to a war for many years. Well, I want Dave to express how he perceives, we both perceive, this area to the church in Smyrna. Any thoughts on what I've just written? And to the angel of the church is Smyrna, the words of the first and the last who died and came to life.
Well, to me in that section, the most important was when they talk about the fake Jews, or whatever the term is,
Yes.
that are evil. To be clear, not all Jews are equal, just the fake Jews. Most Jewish people are good, law-abiding, peaceful people.
And I'd like to add in, they've been living in our country for hundreds of years. They don't put their faith onto others. They keep their faith to themselves. They are law-abiding people. Do you ever hear of someone who is Jewish and did bad things to other religions. Right, Dave?
Right. The vast majority of Jewish people are good, law-abiding citizens. And what's going on in the Middle East is a terrible mess, but it's been that way forever. You know, most wars are set up by religion. And ever since Israel was put there, they are surrounded by enemies.
All around them,
Yeah.
yes.
And a lot of them, like the Hamas, have said they want Israel out. They don't want to work with Israel. They want to destroy Israel.
That's why Israel has so much military advancements to protect himself from all countries that border Israel. Israel is pretty much alone over there. And what I want to mention about the Muslims, pay attention. From my readings, it doesn't seem that the Muslims are really a positive faith that they follow. They are ones who take over countries to make their way of living in each and every one of us states, countries. The people, our people, don't know who to support. I talked to a man, I was at an event, professional event in New York City, and one man I was talking to, I don't remember the details, but he did talk about Turkey. This is going back 8 years ago, and he was explaining to me what was going on. I don't know the whole story. And he warned me about Muslims taking over with their faith over the rest of the countries and all planet Earth. We're pretty much the only country that doesn't have wars in faith. But the Muslims are going to stand up to us, and we need to, the ones that born and raised in America, they live a life of American Jew. They abide our ways and rules, and like I said, they keep their faith within their own community, and they do not do harm to others. Do you ever hear of a Jewish person going into any type of a location, a building that's religious, and shoot them? No. No, because they have their ways, and they keep it to themselves. And I think the people in this country, the USA, should be aware of this and choosing who to help in this dilemma. The American people want us to back Palestinians, and I say no to that. I say support Israel. Israel has a right to defend itself in any means they can, because each party wants to wipe them off the planet.
To add to that is, people say what Israel is doing to Gaza is bad, but don't forget who started this war. Israel didn't start it. It was the Palestinians and Hamas that started it and killed hundreds, I believe, of innocent Israelites. And Israel is just defending themselves. And who knows what's going on with those people who are still prisoners of Hamas. They were taken back in October, and they don't know where some of them are, or whether some of them were alive. And I don't want to get into what may have happened to the women.
Continuing on. Oh, one more thing. A Jewish person would not fight against the police. Right in New York City, a man and a gang was watching the police arrest one of their own in their gang, and they attacked the police officers. That's unheard of in our country. We will not tolerate such behaviors. Continuing on. I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are rich. And the slander of those who say that they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and for 10 days you will have tribulation. The synagogue doesn't have Satan in it. They don't have evil in them. And in this, he says, be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. The one who conquers will not be hurt by the second death. It's parable. It doesn't directly speak out in a certain. It's different ideas mixed into one. But there is no devil in the synagogue, people. That's what the Bible says. I know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are not rich. But you are rich. Do you understand what I mean? It doesn't mean with money as much as it does with items that are necessary for us to receive. And the slander of those who say that they are Jews, and they are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Does it really go back to when our country, or in the Romans, where they crucified Jesus?
Yeah, it was, a lot of people, when I was growing up, said, oh, the Jews killed Jesus, but it wasn't. It was the Romans who did it.
Yes. They only did what the Jews wanted him to do. Who's the Jew? What?
It was Romans.
Romans.
And
Yes.
Jesus was Jewish. He was born Jewish. And, he had, different beliefs, and he's entitled to that. Everybody's entitled to their own beliefs. Mm-hmm. And that's why this country was founded on freedom of religion. You're free to practice whatever religion you want, but you don't have to try to get everybody else involved in it. If you're Catholic or Jewish, that's fine. Or even, Islamic. That's fine, but do not try to get the rest of the country to believe you.
And Turkey, he talked about, and the takeover. They took over the country, the Palestinians. The reason why I know is, this man told me what was happening, and they overtook the leader of that country, and they put him in what they wear for Muslims. And they're dictated by Muslims. They can't fight back because they're so embedded into the country. And they did it slowly. That's happening in America. They're slowly making themselves known. And there must be a lot of Muslims in our country. I want us to live with our faith and respect our faith. And in this country, we don't talk about faith, good or bad. And we don't talk about politics. But I've been witnessing what Hamas, Palestinians, Muslims are doing. They want to take away the Israelites. So, who do we support? Who do you think? And like David just said, Hamas are the ones who started the war. It was brewing for decades finally now they're so angry at each other, it got to the point of a massacre occurring there. Again, President Biden, who are you going to support or defend? The one, bring harm to the one who is doing all the bad things to Hamas by bombing them? We really have to sit down and think about who's the one to follow. Should it be Israel? Should it be Hamas? Should it be Palestinians? Palestinians, they want their lives to be carried forward and have everybody have a universal faith with Muslim. Americans, President Biden, beware. In with Israel, it is a political, yes, but a racial faith that makes life very bad for the others. Let's see if there's anything. Of those who say that they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan, non-Jews are a synagogue of Satan. So that's false, people. Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Behold, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and for 10 days you will have tribulation. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Congregation. The one who conquers will not be hurt by the second death. How is that to be interpreted, do you see?
I don't know.
It's hard to follow.
Yes.
It's the Bible. Each Bible has their own way of talking about their faith and beliefs and their following, how they follow their faith. So what I'm saying is, President Biden, you have a major discussion. You really need to sit down and think who you want to support. Remember the Jewish people. There are some that are not Jewish and claim themselves to be Jewish. Those are the ones who are Satan. And Satan's house is the synagogue. Not all Jews. I love my husband. He's Jewish. I'm born and raised Catholic. There's a reason why God had Dave and I come together. As you all know, it happens in your own life. Are we together? Are we married 25 years? To be able to sit here today and tell you my husband is Jewish, but he loves me dearly.
And I accept her being Catholic, and she accepts me being Jewish, and we don't argue about it. We accept each other. We have slightly different beliefs, but we both have, love for each other.
And today, I am not a Catholic. I was born and raised not a Catholic. My church is in my heart. My church is the description of a person's behavior, action, soul, your soul. That is what is important. It is the behavior and the action that tells you what to do. And you have to be flexible in your ideology. Respect each other. Be careful, President Biden. Be careful of the Palestinians and the Muslims. Do a little research and see how they came about. Maybe they are the false Jew. Maybe.
Could be, that could be.
Could be the false Jews, Palestinian Muslims. And it's the faith that creates the war.
Well, they said most wars, or a lot of wars, are based on religion. Which isn't right. People are entitled to their own beliefs, as long as they don't hurt others.
And land. You know, I knew a man who was my doctor. He was Jewish. He would go visit his family in Israel often. He was an American. He didn't press his ways onto us. He would go over and visit his family. And the safety has always been concerned. But why should they have to leave their land? Why can't they worship? I mean, I'm talking about the American Jewish people and people in Israel. Why is those Muslims so hateful towards Israel? Well, I think that's a question that our president has to answer. Final thoughts, Dave?
As I said before, regardless of your religion, do good for others, and you will be rewarded. And once again, when it comes to Israel, whether you believe like Netanyahu or not, he was elected president by the Israel people. He is their leader. Whether we agree with everything he does or not, as an ally, we should support them.
Yes. Yes. How about Iran, Dave? Iran, they brought war to the Israelites.
Yep.
The Israelites didn't go to war with Iran, but Iran probably didn't like the Palestinians being bombed, the whole area destroyed, people dying, suffering. Iran and Hamas, Palestinians did that.
And they're all working together. They all have the same goal, to get rid of Israel.
And to invade and take over the United States. But we're not going to allow that to happen, right, President Joe Biden? This is a war that must be really taken seriously of the outcome. Well, Dave, thank you for being my associate and helping me with this verse in the Bible. And that's all we have to say. Be good, do good, stay good. Thank you.